I always like these very simple scenes. Just a simple headland with two or three yachts in the distance. Nice big massive sky, plenty of light coming through, and a simple foreground with a few rocks. So I'm going to try and recreate this scene. So to get those sort of nice soft edges in the sky, you have to wet your paper all over first, and make sure it takes at least a couple of minutes before it starts to dry. So I'm just giving this a good soak. Picked up some of the muck off the board behind, but that's a worry. And then I'm going to start off raw sienna, alizarin crimson. Something like that. And I'm going to go alizarin crimson, ultramarine, a bit more water, just to bring those hairs together on the brush. Start brushing those in. Just brushing in from either side, preserving a sort of lighter area somewhere around the centre. Alizarin crimson, raw sienna and ultramarine, a bit more up there. And we've got like a few little, just a touch of Payne's grey in there as well, just to really darken it up a bit. And then I'm just going to, just like a few little clouds coming down, drifting off towards the horizon. And then a few more pops in with a piece of tissue. Put that up there. Something up there. And then as the paper starts to dry, it'll go on a bit darker and a bit darker until there comes a point where really you need to, unless you want to end up with hard edges, you'll need to stop. So I think that's all I'm going to do for the sort of backdrop. So I'm just going to pull the paper tight and refix these clips there, and then I'm just going to give that a quick dry. Next, put that headland in. So I'm just going to dip the tips of the brush just to bring all the hairs together. Get that chisel edge. I've only used three colours: raw sienna, alizarin crimson, Payne's grey and ultramarine. I'm just mixing all those same colours together again. And I'm going to go something like so. And obviously the smaller you make the headline and the more sort of scale you'll get to the whole thing. See, where the brush doesn't quite hit the paper and just leaves unpainted marks. It could be like bits of light or little buildings or something in the distance. Just making sure it's parallel with the bottom of the paper, so it's not sloping one way or the other. And then just sort of make sure that's level. Looks level enough. And then before I put the yachts in, I'm just going to do the bottom bit. So nearer to us, we sort of start off somewhere over there. I'm just sort of tapping the paper. And then a little sweep. And see. Now see how light that is there now. Sort of, I'm going to make sure that light area down the middle, just to maximise the contrast. Make sure this is nice and dark. And see how it stands out, really stands out. A bit more water. Nice and dark there, that's where I'm going to put the rocks. And so I'll put that on fairly thickish, so might be ready to scrape straight in. Yeah, you can see how just scrape it straight in. And you can see how scraping it like that, it looks as if the light's just catching it and you've got the sort of shadows right behind it. Just a simple way of doing it without even trying really. And before I go any further, I need to give that a quick dry. Just first make sure it's flat against the board where it's clipped, so I'll get the air dry on it. I'm going to take clean tissue in my one hand, and then just have a little brush in the other. Just take off the excess water. You just want it sort of damp, clean and damp. And then just decide where the boats are going to go. So I'm just going to have one of that, I think. And all I'm doing, just using a clean damp brush, just to wet a sort of triangular part of that headland. And then just to loosen the paint really. And then when I press it, I'll show you in a bit close up. It's probably difficult to see at the moment. Just take the paint off with the tissue. Just gives the impression of sails. There's another one. I'm just going to do one more. This one a bit further across. Don't put them sort of equally spaced. Just put them at sort of random positions. Do this one a bit bigger. It's always a good idea to sort of start off small, and then if you make a mistake you can make it a bit bigger just to cover your mistake up. There we go, that was a bit bigger. So All that's left to do now, just making sure my hands are clean. Three little birds in the sky, and then down there, pop me now. Right, so let's see what that looks like with the mounts on. So here's our painting with the mounts on. Let's see what how it compares to the original. You can see there's not a million miles in it really, not a million miles difference, very similar. Just use the 4 colours in this. You got the what we got, the sort of ultramarine and alizarin crimson, create this sort of purpley violety colour there. Bit of Payne's grey thrown in and raw sienna, and then we've got this lighter area sort of preserved down the middle to give this effect of light hitting the water beneath. A little bit of tissue work there, suggesting a few clouds. A few more on the other side. Remember what I said at the start, you'll need to wet. Make sure the paper stays wet while you blend all these colours together. That way you get no hard edges, everything's nice and soft and blended together nicely. Just use a sort of chisel edge height just to suggest a few clouds heading off towards the horizon line. And then once the paper was dry, just put this headland in using the same colours, nice and dark, and then you can see where it's these sort of unpainted little bits that are missed off deliberately, just to suggest bits of light or buildings or anything you want to really. You can see on the shoreline, deliberately put this dark area, made sure that was really dark just to contrast against the light, these sort of muddy bits here on the foreshore. Then we got a bit of plastic card work scraping out these rocks. You can see how it looks as if the light's sort of catching them, and you've got the shadow area behind. And then finally, provides like a focal point to the thing. We've got our little yachts there sailing away on the horizon. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you like that. Any questions, please ask. Keep practicing, and I'll see you again soon.